But we need not worry about crowd volume. We have to worry about morality. We have to worry about the pudding inside,
in which lay the proof.
The pudding inside your skulls, where this like weird pudding network that we don't understand yet creates the perceived difference between good and bad. I was just listening to a Radio Lab on the way here, which is where I get all of my information that doesn't have anything to do with me or community. And they were telling the story about this guy. I'm 20 minutes into it, and I'm already riveted. He had seizures, and so he had part of his brain removed, and then he had another part of his brain removed, and then all of a sudden the cops are at his door because he's got kiddie porn on his hard drive because his personality shifted and changed. What was fascinating to me is whether or not his personality shifted and changed. It was what's most fascinating to me is that I'm listening to a podcast that's produced by people that are saying, "Let's figure this out. Let's figure out whether or not this person's a good or a bad person, or when he became a good or bad person, or what defines good or bad behavior." Are we living in a world where we all constantly can't wait to jump on the internet and look at naked pictures of 3-year-olds? Or are we living in a world where that is not the case, and therefore there needs to be an understanding that something weird is going on in your head if that's going on? Like, do we regard every single thing that you do that is not compatible with the Borg cube as being a malady on your part? Do we then forgive you, and having forgiven you, do we try to cure you? Because that, all of these are rhetorical questions. None of them have answers. This is the root of what we're doing. This is what society is. Like, all of us have this pudding in our brain. All of us think at one time or another, "Oh, I'm going to go up to that guy and I'm going to say good morning." Okay, well, that's been approved. That's fine. That's on a ticker tape. That you're going to be the 500 millionth person to say good morning to another person. You have zero chance of going wrong there. The other person says good morning back. Zero chance again of going wrong there. Now, at some point, if you want to climb up the ladder, if you want to get closer to the papaya than the chimp above you, you have to start risking things. You have to start doing things differently. You have to start expressing yourself. Good morning. Too cloudy, though, yesterday. There's a risk there that the guy in front of you will go, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Everything will go crazy. Like, men with Kevlar vests will come in and grab you and say, "Why did you think it was too cloudy yesterday? Why did you think that? What is wrong with you? You need to go to prison. You need to go to a hospital disguised as a prison. You need to go to a prison disguised as a hospital. You need to be crucified. You need to be apologetic. You need to be fixed." What is our goal? What is our end game? What do we expect of each other? When we see another human being on the street, do we want them to be like us, or do we want them to be different? I think the answer is probably, Goldberg, will you fucking cool it with the package? It's a bag of Cheetos.
Reporting the venue.
Is that you, Adam Goldberg?
99 cents for a bag of Sun Chips. The expense is the whole show. But he's crinkling and crackling.
The whole time you're talking, there's a sound of one person eating chips louder than chips need to be eaten.
All right, so do we want to fix him? Do we want to fix him?
I think we can. I think, and Adam, if you come on stage, I'm gonna put you in a full Nelson.
All right.
He was eating chips loud on purpose, right?
I opened them after you said that.
No, you didn't. No, he just willfully loud chip eating. Willfully loud chip eating. Because you're in the fourth row for the first time ever. You came here late and didn't get in the second row. So you're eating chips at a fourth row level right now.
To hear you yell at me, and it's worth it.
Keep it fucking down, man. Good
All right.
Christ.
So, anyways, I've driven in here.
Sorry, I have to write something down. You said.
Much the same as the riboflavin and salt in that bag of chips has, made Adam uncontrollably.
Go on. I'm just turning a page on my thing.
My search for truth has made me.
You don't have to put your hand that far in the bag to get a chip out of it. The bag is bigger than your wrist. You can delicately insert your hand into a bag of chips and
Now
get a
I
chip.
feel bad that I outed him.
No, it's too much.
We've all been the guy with the loud bag of chips.
No, not that loud though. You haven't. You haven't ever been that loud because you would feel terrible if you thought other people heard you eating the chip. He wants you to know he ate the chip.
You think he wants you to know he ate the chip?
Yes, he does. Adam Goldberg demands that you know that he has chips. And now we're talking about it, and now he's ascending into heaven right now. He's sitting at the left hand of God.
All right. Well, I want to keep talking about the weird tapioca in our brains and how we what our end game is. What are we supposed to do? I want to talk about morality. Because there's something different.
Do you notice how quiet it is right now?
It's fun, which is good. Yeah. It's good.
Are all the chips gone?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Jeff, you did great.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I brought it up. Adam, are you done with your chips? Do you want to pour them into a bowl? Now he's nodding in silence.
Yeah, good.
We've martyred him. He's behind the rock.
Yeah, he's Joan of Arc.
We'll roll it aside in 3 days, and he'll take over. I want to talk about so often the big thing that it comes down to is we've got these big giant brains and we figure out the things that we can do. Oh, you can put a human ear on the back of a mouse. Oh, you can you can wear glasses. Now you can read a book. Hey, there's a light bulb. Now nighttime isn't nighttime anymore. I mean, honestly, science wins. Like, it's the better religion. It particularly because of the way it pursues its endeavors. You lock hands and you say, what don't we know? Let's figure out how to know it, and let's not trust any crackpot who happens to be charismatic just because he has weird hair and his tongue can hang out in the posters at Spencer's Gifts doesn't mean that he's a better scientist. Everything is peer review. Everything is hypothesis and testing and proof, and it's always up for debate, always up for fact checking. And slowly but surely, like an Amber Alert, we will close in on God and we will find him and we will grab him and hug him for a second and then slap his face and go, do you know how much you worried me? That's science, and that's the religion I approve of when it comes to a relationship with the unknown. However, what it lacks, what it constantly lacks, what it conveniently lacks, is this thing that, for lack of a better word, and there is a sincere, severe lack of a better word, morality. That other thing, that feely thing, the umbilical thing, the thing that connects you to the unknown thing, the thing that makes you go, yeah, but. Neither of these things can be given control over us. We're so smart. We keep figuring out how to do stuff. We keep learning new things about why we are the way we are. And every time we do, we go, okay, that means that nothing means anything anymore. And then the other people are always going, yeah, but everything's always meant everything, and that means that you shouldn't even be learning these things. And they're all assholes. We're all fucking idiots. We're not going to get to the bottom of it tonight. But before we go to the moon, we got to get our shit straight. We got to understand what constitutes. Because I've said a million times before, a dollar is a dollar. A dollar is worth 100 pennies, and a penny is worth a penny. That is fine. Capitalism works fine. But we have to say that the human life is worth more than all of that. It has to be a separate tier. It cannot be. That's the flaw of capitalism. It's the flaw of humanity to the extent that it embraces capitalism. So the big question has to be, before we get to the moon, we better know. If somebody hits their head on a rock and they start going, I used to like purple, now I like yellow. Yeah, but Commander, all the controls are set for purple. Yeah, but yellow's the best. Oh shit, he hit it. We have to know what we define as human. Is it efficacy? Is it utility? Beefsteak Bill, who's been reborn as from beef fungus pill, is raising his hand slightly.
Like it's our ability to choose.
You better come up if you. Yeah. This is heavy stuff.
Beefsteak Bill.
Okay, so
it's heavier than Breaking Bad, I think.
So far, yeah.
I mean, what's he going to do? He's going to use the machine gun in his trunk. He's going to use it on one of 3 characters that are left.
You've been playing GTA.
Yeah, I have. But also listening to Radio Labs about people having seizures that turn into pedophiles because certain sections of their brain are cut.
What were you saying about free will, Bill?
Okay, I was watching a YouTube video from a Harvard professor who seemed to think that the thing that we value the most is our ability to choose, and to take away somebody else's ability to choose is by far the biggest crime you could ever make.
Because our entire religion, no matter, and this, I think this spans the entire globe, every single origin myth has to do with humanity diverting from a sort of what would you call it, a nothingness by virtue of our desire to choose or our curse to choose. And that at that point, God, I mean, the easiest example is Genesis. God says, you chose. Now, for the rest of your life, you choose. Fuck you. Giraffes don't choose. Wolves don't choose. Moss doesn't choose. Have fun choosing, you pieces of shit.
Then they don't have labor pains. Your women now will.
Yeah, and now you're going to take a hoe to the earth, and it's going to you're going to break your back for nothing. Everything you're going to experience. You're a piece of shit and the warning to God before we ate that apple, somebody said, in that smoky room, in one of the versions of Genesis said, they're going to be like us if they eat that fruit.
That's a bit out there for me to follow. Like, I don't know how to follow that.
That's to say that theologically, just like supporting that, like for thousands of years. But continue, please.
There are some examples in the animal kingdom of cooperation. And strangely enough, there's also examples of animals fucking each other over. One example is where they had two elephants who were given a rope to pull, and they had a pulley on it so that if both of the elephants pulled at the same time, they would bring the food to them. And if only one of them pulled it, the rope would just go through the pulley. So, the elephants didn't take too long to figure out that they could cooperate and bring it over. But it wasn't too long after that one of the elephants figured out that if he just put his foot on the rope, the other elephant would do all the work.
You know the same test they did with chimpanzees. It's the exact same test. But it wasn't a foot on the rope. It was simply not cooperation. It was the alpha chimp would go over and unlock the beta chimp and say, okay, same deal, let's bring the food to me. And the beta chimp, having been through one iteration of the test, went, oh, you mean the test where you get all the food? Fuck off.
And there's also been tests with monkeys where they give cucumber and grapes, and then if you underpay or give one set of monkeys the cucumber, they get angry that you didn't give them grapes. So that's sort of along the same line. But while you were talking about all that, it reminded me of something I'd been thinking about for a while. That is the pillars of morality. And there's a lot of people who talk about it and in different ways, and a lot of people say, like, there's 7 pillars of morality. There's like the 7 deadly sins and things like that they use to illustrate it. But the 2 pillars of morality for me are reciprocity and empathy. So, and you can't have just one of those 2 things. You need both of them. The empathy allows you to know how to behave, and the reciprocity is you actually doing it.
Like, you have to know that person needs a hug. The reason that person's doing that is because they want a hug, and then you have to hug them. Empathy
is broken into 2 separate, I'm sorry if I haven't thought about this for a while now. There's brain freeze. Talk.
Choice.
You were holding a 40-ounce beer in your lap earlier. Was that a 40? Was that a 40 in a brown paper bag you were holding?
Yes.
I love you for that, by the way. That's what everybody should have a 40-ounce in a brown paper bag.
The government has beaten you to that idea. And it's not turning out so good.
What exactly does reciprocity mean?
Reciprocity, I mean, linguistically, it just means paying back whatever's been paid to you.
Kind of a quid pro quo, like if I get something, I give something in return for that.
Like it could mean, it's not a moral attachment. If you punch me in the face, I'm reciprocating by punching you back in the face.
Yeah.
If you kiss me, I reciprocate by pitching you.
And from a societal level, reciprocity doesn't necessarily mean that you pay the person who gave you something back, but you can pay it forward, as it were. Right, so reciprocity isn't necessarily isolated to the two people involved in the transaction.
Oh, well, now you're beyond me.
So,
it's like future tense reciprocity.
Yeah, I think that's how I think
you
about
get
it.
up
Like,
here. You get up
technically,
here
I may
too.
be wrong and it may be goofy, but like the way that I think about it, and I think is as illustrated by me giving people stuff, is like I feel like reciprocity is more represented by Gandhi, and the idea that you sort of move things into the world, and then the world becomes like that.
Oh, so acting as if everything is the way that it should be.
Then the world
kind of Christ-like.
reciprocates.
Yeah, you're going like, okay, well, I'm not going to fall for the devil temptation of saying, well, what if this and what if that? I'm going to do the thing that I would do if everybody did what everyone was supposed to do, which is what someone does when they pick up an aluminum can and drops it in a recycling bin, in spite of knowing that single action will absolutely not stop anything that's going to make the earth die. Like that person, what they're doing is you're saying that can be called reciprocation.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
So the other thing I was talking about is and empathy is broken into two different components. There's affective, I think it is, and perceptive. And one type of empathy is your ability to perceive how another person feels, and the other one is your ability to know what to do to make the person feel better. And so without one of those two components, you end up with either sociopaths who actually know what to do but don't feel that they should, or you end up with autistic people who know what to do but have no idea when to do it.
And the latter is if you know everything that everyone wants all the time and you hate them for it, is that you're probably autistic, right? Like, you're not a sociopath for sure. You're definitely more towards autistic.
Can you do a Jeff Foxworthy comedy routine? You might be autistic.
It wouldn't be as funny as Jeff Foxworthy's.
What was yours?
Can't make eye contact.
Yes, if you can't make eye contact, but you know that you should, you might be autistic.
If someone tells you that they need a hug from you to make themselves feel better, and your thought is, then you should respect me more, you might be autistic. Yeah, it's not funny.
It's a diagnosis. Diagnoses aren't funny.
Yeah.
If you know the diagnosis isn't funny.
All right, thank you, Beefsteak Bill.
Beefsteak Bill!
Beefsteak Bill used to be Beef Fungus Bill, and then he was lowered into the lava, and he emerged as the Galvatron. It's possible to reinvent yourself here. Erin did we spent 45 minutes talking about him.
Yeah, I listened to that. It was fantastic. And how many levels will he have to go through to get beef out of his nickname?
Who knows? He may one day end up being just the
Dr. Beef.
Yeah.
Maybe the next level is he just eschews Bill. He already has only one L in the word Bill. That's vestigial. That can go.